and I love. Oh, you got not dandelions. Dragonflies in there.
Yeah, that was all Brent. He picked that
Brent,
up.
that's so cute.
I'm just gonna put.
And
It's
I like the choice of yellow. It's a variegated thread?
Yep.
How'd you tell them?
Oh, we're on.
Oh, producer.
That was nice. Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, Eddie.
Warnings. Oh, so we actually want to show. Yeah. Hello.
Well, I'll bring us in. Yes. Hello. Thanks for watching. We're organized as always.
Start now with shenanigans.
Yay.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky.
Yes.
Before I get into shop news, there has been a request given to us by
A viewer.
viewer, and it's more than one viewer has come forward with this, and
Yes.
because sometimes I lose sight of my demographic.
I didn't know how to do
Did
it.
you know that? Did
you
you
had
know
to
that-
show me how to do
Well,
it.
YouTube is actually mostly guys. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, YouTube is mostly
Well,
men.
that doesn't surprise me.
demographic-wise.
There's so many car
what-
things on
And
there.
what's really funny too is, so I was listening to this thing the other day that they're talking about, because you go on Instagram, you see like Instagram models, and they're all like, Instagram exploits women, right? Because you ever watch Instagram models? Like they're all in their bikinis and getting all the
No,
likes.
I don't.
Well, anyway, so somebody's complaining about this, and then and it was hysterical because the guy's like, well, if you look at the data, 75 to 80% of all Instagram users are women. So if Instagram is exploiting women, it's women doing it to women. Yeah,
I
Instagram.
don't give a shit. Oh, I mean,
I'm just saying.
nobody can even comment right now because you haven't shown them how
Yes,
to comment.
so-
They all want to say what I just said.
Yeah. Anyway, so the question that came up is, how do you do comments on the YouTube stream? Which John has figured out because he's a guy.
Yeah, okay.
And Bev's been
all
doing
right,
it for a while.
Yeah.
But what we're going to
Hi,
do is
Bev.
a quick screenshot. If you're watching from home and you're like, how do I get on to do comments? We're going to walk through that real quick.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're going to walk through
I'm gonna walk through it.
I'm just like the blind leading the blind.
Well, it's
Here,
because it's your
you
thing.
got to plug it in.
I know, but I want to open it before I plug it
Okay,
in.
just so you know, that ain't my thingy. That's my iPad.
It's yeah, that's why it's an iPad. I'm not
You're not going near my thingy.
I'm not an iPad person.
Yeah, I know, you don't like
I'm
Macs.
just using Macs.
Yep, me
Call
too.
me.
Am I showing my chickens? Am I on? Is the screen on?
Yeah, but your screen's off.
Oh. There they are!
Yay!
Those are my chickens. 3 of my chickens. And my dog, Phoebe. Okay, stop going to sleep. We've got business here. And those are fake bunnies over there. Just so
I
you
thought they
know.
were real. I thought they were like stone
Why does
golem
it keep
bunnies.
cutting out like that, Ed? That's not cool. All right, so I'm on the YouTube app,
Yes.
or you can be at youtube.com, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
See-
Okay.
See, Jean
So
just said it. Jean knew how to do it. She had to show John. So.
Oh, that works. So see this little,
Do you have a mouse?
no, it's an iPad. There's a little
Well, you can't-
person here.
Oh, wait.
I'm going to push it. Oh,
Up
yeah,
in
how
upper-
am I going to show him that?
Yeah. Upper right corner. There's a little thingy.
A little, it represents a person. I'm going to push it.
If
Oh,
you-
you
if
can't
you
see
go to
my
this-
fingers pushing.
Eddie,
you
go
need
to-
to,
can
you
you go
need
to
to
this
have that.
camera?
You need to see me push it. It's got to be a good show tonight.
We're already starting out fantastic.
Okay. See, up in this corner, there's a little human being.
Oh, hold on. Let me zoom in.
A little people. Whoa, jeez.
This is-
They'll
this
get.
is-
It says that little black thing is the people. Ah!
I'm
It's
sorry.
not working. I'm going to push it.
Yes, upper right.
When you push it, it says sign in if you aren't already signed in.
Yes.
Was already signed in, and I signed off just so I could show this. So then when you put sign in, the next thing it's going to do is come up. I have an account already. You use your Google account.
Yes.
Let's pretend I don't, and I'm adding a new account, which you would do. See how it comes up, and it says YouTube wants you to use your google.com to sign in. So you have to have a Google account. Most of you have emails through Google, already have a Google account. No? Any email account.
Yeah, but,
okay, any account. Google wants you to use a Google account. But as
Don't
you
push
saw,
it. Don't push it. Just touch it.
so
That's
just
that's fantastic.
push,
Don't
push,
push.
and
Don't
okay.
push. Just
So
touch.
so you're right, because I'm going to hit cancel for a minute. You'll see if I click on Rebecca Stoll, you'll see no, you didn't see. I want you to see, manage your Google account. There we go. See how I came up with my work email, but,
Yeah.
you know, my
But
email
anyway,
right
that's how you
there,
would sign
that's how
in.
you
Yeah.
sign in.
You can go through that sign-in process.
Might
and
be more data on there, they don't want you to
Yep.
see, like my bra size, I don't know. Boy, that little puppy picture's awful cute. Oop, oh, no, we're not gonna, no, this is what gets me in trouble. No, we're not touching. Okay, so I think we,
wow. That is fantastic.
thank you, Danny. Just in case you don't know what those puppies are gonna do. All right.
Other stuff you look at will pop up.
Oh,
And we don't know
well,
what you've looked
okay, well, it's all about crafting. I hate to burst your bubble, but I'm not one of the men on YouTube.
Well, YouTube,
I'm one of the females.
that would be OnlyFans that you need to worry about.
So after that, can we go back to my screen for a second? This isn't, oh, I can't because it's not live. After that, there's click on this button. Oh, I'm looking at myself.
That's kind of weird.
And
That's
it's
like
a delay.
That's like an. That's, like
I can see myself in a delay.
that's gonna be like a weird
that's
like,
so freaky.
time loop.
Okay, so
I know, but like I'm watching myself
that,
watch
this
myself.
is,
That's
yeah,
like
this
some
is
weird
really
like.
weird. How do I?
That's like
how-
some weird
oh, wait,
sci-fi
that's
stuff.
not me anymore. Oh,
Oh, that's
somebody's
Eddie.
playing with the cameras now. Okay, so if I hit live chat on this screen, see live chat, that's how you can comment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I hope that helped. I don't know if it did, but I'm sick of looking at myself, so get out of
Or
here.
you can just YouTube it.
YouTube.com.
No.
No.
On YouTube.
There's like
Just look up
a video on how to comment on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I could have done that.
Yeah.
I think ours is better.
Anyway, after that
Okay, I'm
fantastic start,
disappearing for a moment.
after that fantastic start, let's get into shop news. Yay! Look at me on that camera. I'm a sexy beast. Anyway, so
Back!
I'm not gonna go too crazy getting into the classes tonight because there's a bunch of classes. We sent out an email today.
There's an exciting one coming up Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday we've got Intro to Paper Piecing, which is pretty much full at this point.
Yes!
And then that's also going to be repeated on Tuesday. But if you check our website, the website's up to date with all the classes we've got coming up. We did just send out an email. So if that's something you're interested in and you didn't get an email, just shoot an email to info@4pointsquilting.com
And say, hey,
Where's
why
my
aren't
email?
I getting your emails?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not getting our emails, you should say, hey,
Yeah.
why aren't I getting
the email.
emails?
And we'll see. But don't say that. Because
What?
sometimes people aren't getting the emails and there's nothing we can do about it because like junk spam folders and all that
Oh, I
other stuff.
just said it, Brent.
I know
so.
it.
But
But it's one of
I'm
those things-
rewinding.
I'm just saying, I got people come in, I'm not getting your emails, and I'm like, but I sent them to you. Well, fix it. I'm like,
Maybe it's
"Can't."
not spelled right or something.
I don't know. But anyway, so I'm not going to get into classes. That's all I'm trying to say there. Because there's an email, and you can check our website. We have a website, warpocketquilting.com. Go to the calendar, and it's all there. And the other thing, there was a typo in the email, because September 12th is not a Saturday.
Oh, Brent.
Well, it was supposed to be the 25th. Wow. Could have used the other
I
side
know,
next
I'm
time.
sorry. I didn't mean to really clunk you.
Anyway,
I just like to fake
that being
clunk
said,
you.
we also have some machines for sale. We have a Baby Lock Destiny. If you're looking for a good machine, the Baby Lock Destiny is the version of the Dream Machine 2. It's the Baby Lock version. We had one that came in on trade. It has super low mileage on
Ooh.
it. Like it is like super low. I think it's got less than 1 million stitches. Was it less than 1 million, Eddie? Yeah. Which I was surprised. I had to go in and like check the text screens. I'm like, this can't be right.
Just to put a perspective on that, like, let's talk about like need a good design stitch out. How many stitches do those? They're like 50,000?
Easy, 50,000 easy, yeah.
Okay, so,
Depending on the hoop size, if you're doing a stitch out that's in like a 8x12 that fills up an 8x12 hoop, you'll be in the hundreds of thousands of stitches.
why
So
do them?
this machine has really low miles on it. So And it's baby lock. So what that means is if I've got no interest in it in like 2 weeks, it's going on eBay because I don't have a contractual obligation not to sell it there.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in a really good machine, and we always do decent prices, let me know.
Yep.
And we will just call me sooner than later. Yeah, because it's a good, like I said, I was surprised when it came in. I thought it was going to have more mileage on it, but it doesn't, so it's awesome. So if you want a machine, it's a great machine. But like I said, I'm not holding on to that one forever.
What?
Deanna.
Yay! Hello, Deanna!
And so also what came in this week, we're finally getting fabric back in.
Thank you.
And so here's some fabric that, so instead of showing the
Let me
fabric.
be Vanna White for you.
So instead of showing off the fabric, I'm going to show you the quilt that got made.
Because Brenda stays up all night sewing.
And we'll have kits available for this.
Yes, you do.
But I knew that Brenda was going to make the sample real quick on this because when I ordered it for Brenda because I know she loves safari stuff. But you've got animals and some nice prints in there. So that, can you zoom it out a little bit? Somebody got zealous with the, there we go. So that came in. We've got all the.
That's really cool.
So there's a bunch of different fabrics in here. I just want to show you the project that's available.
Yep.
This here is a panel. So that's available on our website. I think it's called Global Lux. So it's available online. It's $10.95 a yard. Free shipping.
Is this part of the same panel, or you buy these and
This is all part of the same panel,
Oh,
I believe.
cool.
And then this here is actually some running yardage. That one there.
Oh, wow.
And then this outer border is really cool too. So that's one collection that came in. Then the other one that came in, completely kind of different,
I'll fold.
is what is it called? Blooms?
I saw that fabric.
Fresh cut. So this is just some really nice kind of watercolors. This actually, I think we'll have like 3 or 4 pieces that came in with this collection, but it works really well with a lot of our tone-on-tone coordinates. So that's also available on our website for $10.95 a yard. It's called Fresh Cut. The patterns for both of these are also a free PDF that should be linked on our website as well. So you can just look that up and then,
Aren't we getting fancy?
order the
Linking
fabric.
PDFs on the
Oh, yeah.
website?
I've been doing that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've been doing
she's been on top of that. So that's what's new there, and I think that's pretty much all Aftershop news. Check out the classes on our website, and that's new fabric. So
that's exciting stuff.
yay! So I'm going to throw it over to you.
Now, okay, you throw it to me, but I thought I heard this on the way in tonight, so it might be totally no good. Did Brother release some special financing that starts tomorrow or today? No, today's Thursday. It starts tomorrow and runs through the 20th.
I believe so, yes. I'd have to double check.
Yeah, I'll fill you in, okay?
Wait,
0% financing.
Yes.
that on the news? What do you listen to that would announce
I'm
that
not
on the
giving
web?
away all my secrets.
Yes, there's 60, I believe it's 60 months, 0%.
Oh, they have, if it's less than $4,000,
yeah.
they have something for the smaller
Yes,
purchases
there is
now.
there's a 48 a month, no interest.
I think it's 36.
Well,
but maybe
48
but
48
it's
is
zero
under 5.
is the important thing.
So-
You don't have to spend 10 grand
Yes.
anymore, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, there
For
is
the
a
next 10 days to celebrate National Quilt Month.
yes.
Starts the 10th year, just saying.
No,
I
I
could
know
be
that
wrong.
it came out.
He doesn't know.
I have to double check it because but yes, I know that there is a promo running. I've been doing a million other things today.
Yeah, well, me too, but when I'm driving, I'm tuning in.
See, I've been spending my time on the phone because I got this letter from the IRS. They're like, you got to take care of that, like a W-2 form from, I think, 2018.
Oh, God.
I'm like, okay, file
God.
paperwork. So I
Yeah,
called
that's
them.
always fun.
I put all these numbers in, okay?
Yeah.
After about 20 minutes of waiting and all this, I'm sorry, we have too many calls right now. Call
Yeah.
us tomorrow.
Yeah, that's.
Call them again.
Yeah.
Same thing. So so like they send me letters, but they don't want me to help me. So
Yeah, that's about.
I love the
right.
government.
Yeah.
Am I
So
allowed to say that?
anyway,
Wait.
you can spend.
I love the government. If
the
I say
other-
that right, it's
The other financing they came out with, you had to buy an
Yeah, they always-
expensive
they tier it.
luminaire.
Yeah, it used to be
And
hard-
I'm thinking, well, if I don't want a luminaire, then you got nothing for me. Well, to celebrate National Quilt Month, which I didn't even know it was National Quilt Month, but apparently it is. They are. Did you even know that?
I know.
I
It's
know.
like
They
people
make up
make up
these
days. Like
weird
there's like a
holidays.
national talk like a pirate day. People just make stuff
Yeah.
up.
So, well, anyway, so starting tomorrow, you can get 0% interest on the lower price machine.
Yes.
And if you spend more money, you can still get 0%, but it's a longer period of time that you get
Yes.
0%.
And if you time it right, because the new prices don't go into effect, I won't be getting that email till the first part of next week.
Yes,
So you've got a couple
is
days
a-
of this overlap.
this is a big deal.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. This is a big deal. Like if you've been eyeing those new 1700s,
Yeah.
but you're thinking,
Yeah, if you've been eyeing those new 1700s, I got two 1600s I'll give you a really good deal on because the 1700 came out.
Okay, well, I know, but I'm
But I'll
eyeing
order
the
your 1700,
1700 and I'll trade in my 1600.
I'm all right with that too. But
But
the best
anyway,
part
I
about
wanted to
those,
share that.
oh wait, no.
What?
I was gonna say, it's brother doing it. Sometimes our Synchrony does the financing deals. I was
Yeah.
like, well, you could use that on that baby lock that came in, but because it's a brother deal, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think,
But
I
I
don't
might
know.
be, I might be able to
could-
make that work
You're gonna
if
have,
you're
you
interested.
know what you gotta do? You gotta look up the facts, because I just heard,
I'm pretty sure- I'm pretty sure I
it's
can-
about, like, I know Lynn would like to upgrade. Now's the time.
I'm okay with my baby.
I was kidding. Let's do quiz.
Let's do quiz.
Look it, I wrote
My
it on a
agenda says it's quiz time.
paper towel.
You're starting, I'm rubbing off on you, I
Yeah,
think.
well, I at least wrote it down though, and I
Yeah.
had it ready to go. I was thinking of it this morning. We're gonna do quiz time. This one's not so easy, I don't think,
Okay.
unless you really listen. And you might not have listened because it was me and Miss A last week.
There was some
Yeah, there was
some frantic
stuff.
energy going on there. I think
Oh, there she is!
I think
Hey,
Jean- I think
Adriana, talking
Jean
about
summed it up
you.
perfectly last week when she said that she's really good at being 9.
She is, I know she said she wasn't a mini me, but she's a mini me.
Oh, I can see it.
She is.
I can see it.
The two of us are usually, but because we were on air, I was really like, oh,
Oh my gosh.
Where
Oh my gosh.
when we're alone, I'm like, eh.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking for Gran. But anyway, here's a quiz. Last week I confessed that there really was a difference between Kimberbell tape and 3M tape. 3M tape is so inexpensive. The 3M surgical tape, buy it by the carton, right? Costs almost nothing. Kimberbell's not expensive, but it's like $4.95 a roll.
Oh, yeah.
But I love my new tape dispenser,
You put quilting on any box, you can double the price of it.
Well, no, I'm telling you, I did discover a difference, which I thought made this, when this is gone, I'm not buying any more of it. Kimberbell wins. What did I say I discovered about this stuff that made me go, no way, Jose, Kimberbell wins the battle?
I remember you saying it, and I was intrigued by it, but now I forgot what you said.
I need a bigger piece.
I think Jean's got it. Sticking this on the machine, especially
If you iron it, it is a nightmare. Yay, Jean! And thank you for your compliment to Adriana. She's a good girl. But there you have it. Yes.
Yes.
I did say it was harder to tear away if you stitch through it. It's hard to tear away. Whereas Kimberbell just goes boop and it's
Top of the
gone. But the real nightmare was when I hit it with the iron, and it was a gummy mess. And I don't want anything I have to worry about with my iron because I'm a big iron person. So,
Me, I'm almost allergic. I have an allergy
so
to pins. And I'm
that,
allergic to the iron.
that, congratulations, Jean. She
Jean's
gets
a
a
$10
$10 GC. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, that was exciting, Jean. That knew that. That was great. Yeah,
Good, you're
yeah.
not sleeping on the soundboard today.
Yeah, no.
Okay, next on the
Okay.
agenda. Quiz time's over. Yay!
Yeah.
Quilt of the week.
Yes, because we didn't have
Instead
one
of taking a
last week
pic-
because we waited for a special one,
And because we didn't take a picture this week, but if you look behind us here, this is
which I much prefer
yes.
because I like to see them close up.
So Eddie asked me, what's the quilt of the week? Was it last week? And I'm like, well, it's only Wednesday. And he's like, no, what's the quilt of the week? It's not quilt of the Thursday.
Oh, and I love that you used wool.
No, it's Polly.
That's not wool?
That's Dream Puff.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was wool.
Yeah, the Dream Puff and the wool are very similar.
Wow, that's really nice.
But the dream
Alright,
puff, as it
so-
is whiter than the wool, so we thought with the white fabric, it would make it pop a little bit more.
What's really stunning about this is that it is ombre fabric that's used to create all these almost look like candy corns to me.
Candy
This-
corn gross.
These are all ombre fabric. It's all sugar, that's why I like it.
I'm not, yeah.
So, and it was
So
actually
what
a
that
fat
means,
quarters.
what that means if it's an ombre fabric,
Yeah, well, see, I can't reach that high to pictures this.
She gets mad when I do that. I do.
You should
this
cut
all
them.
here is done with.
You shouldn't do what he did. People, you should cut them.
What ombre means is all the fabric in here was one piece of fabric. It was one.
Fat quarter.
One fat quarter. It's not like 3 different colors. It's not like there's 3 different fabrics in here. That all came from the same fat quarter. So
Same
that's
with this, which is what's so cool.
yeah. So all that the gradation is actually in the fat quarter itself. And we do have some fantastic ombres in the shop. We have a lot of the
Gemstone.
the Riley Blake gemstone,
Yeah.
and we've got some more coming in.
And this is really very well done. I mean, I'm a point person. We're actually going to talk about points tonight. And Danny, it's Danny's quilt. Woo! But I got to tell you, it's magnificently pieced together. It really is. I mean, when I look, this stuff is not for the shy people. It's really well done. Everywhere I look, I am just blown away
I was gonna
by
say if I had
the
done
workmanship.
that bee wouldn't have a stinger on its butt. It would just be flat.
Yeah.
It'd have like a little,
I
real flat
love
bottom.
the detail. The other thing I love is the choice of the quilting pattern. I love that. This is very
I can take some credit for that.
good.
Why
This
not?
is a very straight line pattern when I first look at it, and when I look at the quilting, I go, it's anything but. It's swirly. It's got little bees and dragonflies
And
and
butterflies.
daisies and butterflies. I love it. I love everything about it. And it's done with a variegated thread.
Yes, that was Danny's idea.
I
No,
love
we
it.
don't have the pattern in the store, like the comment says. No,
Yeah.
but we'll be.
No, but we can get it.
We will get it. Yes.
We have to get it. It's
Well,
beautiful.
we've got some of the variegated, because I would like to make this again with some of that gemstone.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to put the bees in there, you can do it without the bees. And
I
some-
like the bees.
But what I'm saying is some of those
I wanna do
gemstone,
it again without the bees.
Oh, you do want to do it again without the bees?
because some of the
Okay.
gemstone colors aren't these bright, vibrant colors, you're
Yeah.
gonna get a different
Yeah,
feel.
whole different look.
Because it's more of a jewel tone,
And let's look at the back that was chosen, because I like that as well.
and I'm out of it, so, but we'll get some more of it.
Really? I
Well,
just
it
like
works so
these-
well with the quilt, I
I
had to use
know.
what we had.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Congratulations!
Yay!
Quilt of the week, free quilting,
Yay!
and well deserved. Beautifully done.
Thank
It's a very happy quilt. I like happy quilts.
Happy, happy.
I do.
Happy,
I like
happy,
happy
joy,
quilts.
joy.
Okay, so congratulations on that.
Yay!
All right, so now is it time for me? Yes, I have 2 things to
I
talk.
feel like that camera's in a different position this week.
What camera?
That one over there, isn't it?
It's always up on the wall,
I
Brent.
know, but it just seems to be pointing in a different
I
direction.
I don't really have turbo tip. Both my things are tip related.
So should
we're
we,
just gonna.
we're gonna skip the turbo tip and go straight to
Work-
workbench, and then you can take up the rest of the time?
Oh, workbench. Oh, see, I forgot workbench.
Oh, I see, that's why I have my
No,
handy.
let me do one.
That's why I have my
Let me
own.
do one of my things,
Okay.
then you do workbench, and then I do the other.
Okay, fine.
Because, no one wants to listen to me 2 times in a row.
But you're so much fun to listen to.
No, I'm not, but I gotta tell you, I have fun with this. Okay, y'all know I brought in, oh, I don't wanna show you that yet. I brought in with Adriana, we did, I do have a turbo tip. See, I don't even know what I'm
Turbo
doing
tip.
anymore. Remember I talked about using water-soluble thread for basting and tacking down?
Yes, and no, it's not in here yet.
And I said, gotta have it, Brent?
Yeah.
And he
it's,
said, I don't have it
I'm
yet.
working on
I
it.
said, did you get the fusible in yet? Because I want to try, that's the oven, see?
I know.
Where's my fusible? Because
Because I
I
have-
discovered the Wonderfill fusible is the same diameter as a regular thread. So I'm supposed to have no issue putting it through my small needles, which is gonna be a game changer when I go to applique.
I will call A tomorrow.
And
find out
I
where it's
need
at.
it in. I need it in. But then the soluble thing, tell me this has never happened to you. I'm working, I know I'm all over Eddie, I'm sorry. Down is probably best for this little guy. There we go. I'm still working on candy corn. I said it right this time, candy corn.
What do you
I
think
was
this was called
working,
before?
I'm working on these little hoop-de-doos
You
here.
want to flip that?
I have to flip it. Oh, goodness. I'm working on these little hoop-de-doos right here. E,
Hoop-de-doos,
and
is that
home,
is
and
that what they're
boo.
called in there?
I don't know.
Hoop-de-doo.
But, so I told you I'm quilting, right? So the first thing I gotta do is do a placement line.
Look
And
how
then-
green those look on that camera.
I know, I love the
That's
green.
fantastic.
I want to do this, I want to start over and you go in the dark neon thread. I so want to. I haven't gotten too far. I just need more fabric. Did we get that in yet?
It's been ordered. I haven't seen
Brent!
it shipped yet. COVID. That works for everybody else's
Okay,
excuse.
well-
Yeah, COVID.
I want to move over to a
Mhm.
neon green, glow in the dark thread. I think that will make this quilt just. No, I need to
Glow in
get
the
some.
dark.
You have some?
Glow in the
neon
dark
green,
thread is
glow in the dark?
expensive.
I don't care.
I'm just saying.
It's only in the top. I'm just using it
All
for
I'm
the
gonna
quilting.
say is this is why I'm off. This is why I'm a bad business person, because glow in the dark thread is expensive if I have to get it. But if you get it on Amazon,
Yeah.
It
you are a
works.
terrible salesman.
no, I'm
Yeah.
just saying the stuff that you can get on Amazon for glow in
Okay,
the dark thread
well-
will work, and it's about half the price, a
And
third the
no
price.
crap on it, huh?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I want to go back and I want to redo everything. But I did discover some things. Oh, how many times does this happen to you? Wait a minute.
What? That looks good. The little
I
batty
forgot the batting.
All right, maybe one.
I forgot the batting.
Didn't Ronnie do a
Now,
project where she?
remember we talked about how nicely they have double stitched all those lines now because Brenda had to go and say something to them? So taking this out now is going to be a pain in the butt. I'm going to be picking and picking, and that's what she gets for taking time off. I'm going to be picking and picking and picking. If this had been water-soluble thread,
You could spritz it and it would go away.
done. People, don't we need water-soluble
Yes,
thread?
we will be getting
This would have been
water-soluble.
this would have been so easy to take care of, but now it's going to take me a freaking half an hour. Ah.
To take that out?
Yes,
It's
it's
double
double
thick.
tacked and it's nice and tidy, and I don't want to ruin my stabilizer.
Okay.
But
You
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 take
would
it out
probably
and
take and ruin the stabilizer.
No, I'm a pro
Well, there's my
sewer.
glasses. I was looking for them. Okay, so something else I discovered on candy corn. That's another tip for us candy corn people.
Okay.
Because I'm hoping there's more than just me who's loving candy corn.
Well, the Baxter's not on there to tell us how wonderful hers is going.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, I'm really enjoying this. However, I have to tell you, remember how I said sometimes you should put the iron-on and sometimes you don't need to?
Hold on a second.
'Cause you-
Jolene says wonderful. How did I not know that wonderful has glow in the dark? I'm calling A tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, Jolene, this is why we have to stick together,
Well, I know that
right? Yes.
that
Oh, but she
Superior made
didn't.
it.
Yeah.
I did, but in the Superior is
Okay.
what I used to get in the past, but it was expensive. I'll call Wonderful tomorrow.
When you go to do the hoop-de-doos, back them, because it's a light fabric going over some pretty dark backgrounds. And if you don't put this back iron-on, SF101 or Kimberbell's version, on the back of it, it will show through, and it won't be as pretty. So this is the case where I definitely will back them. What?
I'm just reading the comments.
Jean's sucking up.
Oh.
I
The
have
other
a feeling
tip
there's a
on
lot
your
of sarcasm
backing,
in that
on
statement.
the backing, the other thing, I don't know where I am, Eddie, anymore. There, that'll work. Is see how this isn't even one piece of batting. I mean, I actually use scraps of backing. As long as you butt them up, you're good to go. You don't have to say, oh, I need a 4x4 piece. No, I save all my little scraps and just iron them on after. You'll never see that they were all pieced together on the back. So this is for frugal people like Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's
So
that.
so they just back your white fabrics before you put them on?
Yes,
Yep.
yes. But I did not, now I'll get to what I was really going to get to. I did not with the tombstones. And I'm telling you, if you haven't done your tombstones, or if you're Becky and you're going to redo your tombstones, put the backing on your tombstones. In this case, it doesn't show through, but if you look really, really close, Brent, look at those satin stitches.
Which they probably look perfect to Brent.
No, they're almost tearing my fabric. There's so many of them. They are so dense. There are so many holes in the fabric. Can we get that close up? I don't know that we can, if you guys are gonna be able to see it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
That's a surprise.
see it, oh, Becky, you almost had it. See those holes, guys? There, it shows on the camera. See all those holes? Punch, 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 punch. No? Nobody else sees that?
I can't see it on the
Look at right next to the satin stitches where the light gray is. Punch, 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 punch. There's almost no fabric between those
Oh,
holes.
now it's from here.
It's almost a clean cut through my gray fabric. Look how little space there is between each of those needle holes. That ain't gonna last.
The space between the needle holes is exactly one width of the thread.
Were you in a 14
Look at that.
needle?
No. So those who use a bigger needle, your tombstone gonna fall right off. Because this is a size 11.
Okay, this reminds me of a time,
Okay, well
Somebody
anyway,
that shall-
I would have backed my tombstone.
somebody that shall not be named, that we all love dearly
Okay,
here.
I've just showed my fun
You're talking
stuff.
about me.
No, 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 no. We'll all know who I'm talking about, and if you don't, I'll tell you after.
Okay.
The first time I met her, she came in, and she brought in these immaculate, perfect square, a pinwheel.
Oh,
And she brings it in, and she says, Brent, how do I get this right? And I'm looking at the pinwheel, and it was maybe off a 32nd of an inch, less than that. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, what are you talking about? It's off, and she's pointing at the center.
no, that's what I would do.
And I'm just like, I didn't see it, but I'm like, well, just iron it a little more is all I can say.
Oh,
And that was the first time I had met her.
oh, they're right here.
And then I learned, and like I said, I love her dearly. She quilts way different. Where most of us will like piece stuff together, put a bunch of squares together, and then,
Well, I
piece
know
a
you're
bunch of
not
that.
talking about me, because
Yeah.
I didn't come
No,
in.
she will make
I
she'll-
will never ask you how to make
she
a
will-
pinwheel.
She will take a pinwheel, instead of chain piecing it, she'll make an individual pinwheel, sew one seam, get up, iron it, come back, sew the other seam and iron it.
I'm sorry, whoever you are, that is picking on you, but I
I'm
bet
not-
your work is
Well, the
pretty
way I
nice.
learned this is that she was having somebody help her, and she was trying to chain stitch, and she's like, she won't let me chain stitch. I have to iron it.
Oh, I do chain stitch, I do chain stitch. But,
Oh.
I gotta show you a trick,
But anyway,
yeah. Ronnie, this one's for you. So I was complaining that now I'm gonna probably remake them with other threads, so, yes?
There was a question from June,
on the back, now to secure the quilt for when it gets washed.
Oh, you mean because of my holes? That's when I would have put on the gray fabric, this fabric, I would have backed it with 101 before I embroidered it, and it would give it more stability.
Now, could that also be related to holes that you're worried about, which I didn't really see.
So Becky, what would you do about the holes if using a size 11 needle? I would back my gray fabric with 101 or Kimberbell's fusible backing prior to embroidering it.
Now,
That gives it more stability, so I wouldn't worry about it falling apart. Now that's what I want to show. So-
well, no, what I
Oh,
want
you look at it.
I wanna
Look what
see
I
something.
did. Look what I did.
I
That's
can't,
not yours, that's yours.
This is
I
mine.
love it.
This is mine. Remember it used to look like this?
Oh, okay.
See how clean that gravestone is? And I'm like, who the heck has a gravestone that clean?
Yeah.
Nobody. And I said, I would have gone out and bought some different fabric. And I said, well, I'm not going to remake them. So I made it rustic. Isn't that prettier than this?
It is.
And this is how you do it. Oops, I shouldn't hold out the tool paper package. Crayola crayons.
What?
And it's permanent when it's done. You want to
Yes.
see how I do it?
And
Brent, I'm trusting you to do one. You screw this up.
well, I was just gonna say something. Now, this trick, I've seen this trick before.
It's
I
not
know
a
that,
trick.
I know that it only works with
technique.
Crayola. I don't know that it works with all crayons because
Here's-
it's gonna be different.
Here's why I recommend Crayola. I actually tested some cheesy crayons.
Mhm.
What happens is they have a higher wax content and less dye content. So So I highly recommend Crayola.
Yeah, I would.
Because you're going to see how we remove the wax and set the dye. That's the secret to
Yes.
these working. So I would not use other crayons. I would use, and don't use washable Crayolas, people. Use the crayon that, I have my own special set of 64s that the kids aren't allowed to touch.
Yeah, my mom had that too, and I never understood. It's like, Mom, why do you have crayons?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to, as we go on,
No,
I got to bring in some more stuff I've done with crayons, because Tina, I know, Becky likes the color. I've never outgrown coloring. I do.
Does Tina pick
So,
on you? She's like,
She
"Oh,
all the time.
look at the kitten wrist.
Watch how
coloring."
easy this is. Yes, she does all the time. So I picked out a couple colors, Brent. One's black, one's called outer space, which means it's a dark gray. I also have a midnight blue in case I wanted to add a little blue tones, and I have a brown shadowy color. Now the technique is not to use it like a crayon in this case, because I want to come up with, I'm going to put this one beside me, I want to come up with rustic texture. I don't want to color it all in. So I'm going to take black, if I can find it, the black. I'm going to use the butt of the crayon. Because
The butt of the crayon?
yeah, because I want to rub it.
That's what she said.
So watch how significantly easy this is.
There's so much I want to say right now.
Yeah, well,
but
you
I'm
go
just
ahead.
gonna
Like I thought this automatically deserved more shadowing. Now this is the case where I might not have used the butt, but I'm going to today. And I'm literally just scribbling.
When you can, you must use the butt.
I prefer the butt. One, because it has a sharp
Now-
edge on it.
Now, as Jean said earlier,
Or
make
it has
sure
a flat end on it.
you only touch the butt, don't push it.
I'm not pushing, I'm rubbing very lightly. So watch. Because there's texture in the fabric, it automatically just does its thing. And then watch this. If I want to show lines, there's the crack of the butt. And if I want to say, oh, now this I might point, this is my outer space, it's a dark gray, so I might get a little rougher in the middle there if I wanted to do some shadowing.
Go for it.
Do it. Getting rough with the butt.
Don't get on my green, I'll be mad at you. So,
Can't believe she's letting me.
I can't believe I am either, but I am. Can we see Brent coloring? Brent, use the butt. See, you're not paying attention.
I was trying to get a different effect. Okay, I'll use the butt.
This is my quilt. Don't press too hard, because you can always go back and add more.
He's a big burly
Oopsie,
man.
I just did. See what happened? I didn't use my butt. And see what happened? See, it's a much different effect. I like just scratching the butt.
Sometimes I think we should have Brian here to offer commentary when you're.
Oh, you don't want him here.
Does he watch the show?
He doesn't. Once in a great while. He watches me watch the show. I'll actually watch the show later, and he'll come by and go, oh, but not. Now,
Is he subscribed?
no, he is not. And he should be, right? None of my family. How dare you? I think Adrienne is the only one that's subscribed.
Ascribed?
Scribe. So now when you add different colors, you're getting that more realistic thing. So you can get very, see how I'm using the butt to get,
The butt is a nice. That's a
I'm
nice.
telling you.
That's a good tip. Use the
Because
butt.
you see the texture start to appear.
This would have been a great drinking game every time you said butt.
Well, at least we're not talking about touching the tip.
All I can see is your head, Becky.
Oh, sorry. But how easy is that? And how fun is that?
I could color fabric all day.
I'm telling you, it's too much fun. Any applique you can do this with.
Okay.
Now we need to set it so it's permanent.
That was
How
my
does that,
next
is
question.
that acceptable?
Actually, I'm going to look at Brent's. It's beautiful. Is that showing? That's not showing up enough, Ed. Let's get a close-up of this one because it's really well done.
I got skills. I can
Look
color.
at, even Brent can do it.
Wow.
I'm asking to put points together in a pinwheel.
But
Now I can color the points.
Isn't that amazing? Oh, I got to fix her thread, I see. Well, I'll do that later. Okay, so here's how easy, Brent, I'll actually use that. Nicely done.
I'm almost
Isn't
gonna-
it fun?
I'm beklempt. You're gonna use my,
I know. Isn't it
my
fun
blog.
though?
It is. I can totally see how, yeah.
It's cool, right? So now you put this paper towel, this is a single layer of paper towel. Its only purpose is to absorb the wax. So your iron's got to be hot enough to melt crayon. What you don't want to do is pick up the wax and then use and move this over and over again, because when it's picking up wax, it's picking up some dye as well, and you don't want to keep moving that around to places you don't want it. So you just basically, I mean, it doesn't take long either.
You know, as kids, we once went through a whole box of crayons.
I was going to say, I'll show you how fast it
Melting them on a radiator.
there's there's actually people who color fabric using melted crayons. Have you seen any of those videos?
No.
Oh my God, see it? Not this.
All I can remember is just sit by the
They
radiator
actually
on cold winter
color
days and just.
quilts melting crayons ahead of time. It's amazing. But I wanted the rustic rubbing look. So, look, that's it. That's it.
rubbing
Now,
butts.
what you're going to see when I pick this up is you will see, hopefully, you will see a little bit of, yep. See how there's residue on my towel? Do you see the residue on my paper towel? Is that showing up, Eddie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do a close-up, because it's there, which is why I'm not going to reuse this towel. Oh, that doesn't show up at all.
Oh.
There it go. Oh,
Yeah.
see, there it is. Did you see it?
There it is.
There it is. See it?
Yeah.
See that gray yucky yuck?
Yeah.
That's wax and some
I'm
dye.
a talented butt artist.
Da-da-da, ready to wash.
That wasn't yours.
That's it. It's permanent.
Mine is here.
I know, she didn't do it.
Oh,
I
well, let's
know,
do
but
it now. I
I've
got
just been
another
called a
paper.
talented butt artist.
I
I'm
got
very
another
excited about
paper
this.
towel. Let's do yours. That's it. You're done.
Well, let's see Brent.
You're done. Now imagine the things you can use this technique on, especially the 64 box of crayons.
You get all sorts of colors.
Yeah, it just
Now-
makes such a huge difference to something that looked flat.
Now, my question is, you've done a lot of this.
I've done
Well-
a whole doodle quit. Ask Ronnie. That's why I said this one's for Ronnie. She's eyed my doodles.
Now, those brighter colors, are you gonna, is the brightness of the colors gonna transfer, or are you gonna get a little bit of a washout when you set the dye?
No washout.
Okay.
No washout. No washout.
So the actual color of the crayon is gonna,
It's this dye. It's
Yeah.
the color of the crayon is what you're going to get.
okay.
There are other products, and
Now-
I'll feel free to demo those too
Now,
with
my other
watercolor
question would
pencils.
be,
They get
how
more
does-
intense.
Does the background color of the fabric affect the finished color of your,
Well, it will, just
Okay.
like if you color on a white piece of paper versus a gray piece of paper.
because I've done this a couple times in the past, and when I do it, it just didn't seem as vibrant as if,
Well,
as
I
would
was
like.
doing a black or gray,
Yeah.
but on my doodle quilt, they are white blocks. So
Okay.
colors look
'Cause the
very,
time I did, I think it
very,
was
very true on white.
Now, then my other
Again,
question,
see the cut that came off?
then my other question would also be when you're
That
doing
means
this,
I did a good job.
if you
And there it
did-
is.
If you did like muslin with a looser weave, is that also gonna affect maybe the color transfer because?
I don't think it'll affect the color transfer, but it will affect the overall color, because muslin, unless it's a bleached muslin,
Yeah,
it
okay.
will be white,
I'm just
so
curious,
you'd
yeah.
be okay. It's mostly just the color
I'm
behind
asking all these
it.
questions, I'm probably never gonna do this again.
Oh,
will,
I don't
though.
know, I'm gonna do it. I just think it made such a huge
It does.
difference.
It does make a
The
difference.
difference is night and day, and it
Yeah.
didn't take much at all to do it.
No.
It really gives it a
No.
whole different look.
And the application, I see people who applique without the applique, they just do the outline stitching,
Mm-hmm.
and then they take their crayons and color it in, and not put fabric in it at all.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
or pencils, but today it was crayons. But anyway, so that's that. That's
Okay.
how I fixed my gravestones, and now I'm happy with them.
Yay!
I thought that was fun.
Okay.
All right, now I'll turn it over to you for Benchy Boo.
Benji Boo.
Benji Boo.
I didn't have much, but because we've been starting this tech thing, I just wanted to drop some information. Now, I don't know if this is actually useful to anybody,
Oh,
but I'm going to share.
I'm
One
sure
of the
it's
interesting
useful.
things about Brother hoops, because this is one of the things you can buy, because Brother and Baby Lock are so prolific, you can often find aftermarket hoops. And I sometimes will caution people, careful what you're gonna pick up on Amazon for half the price of a Brother, because it might not work properly. And I'm not saying that it won't, but I'm gonna show you what to look for, so you know if the hoop's gonna work right. If you look at this hoop here, you'll notice, my lips look funny. Sorry. I don't know if that's gonna, if you look closely on here.
You want me to get out
No,
of your
you're
way?
fine. If you look, see these little nubs on top? Notice the position of those nubs
Nubs, butts, tips.
compared to the
Got a
nub.
lot going on tonight.
You see that, and you see on that hoop the nubs are different? That's how the machine knows which hoop you have on the machine. Those little,
Where's that nub?
these little nubs here correspond with your different hoop sizes. So if you look at your hoops, you'll find that each one of your different sizes has a different combination of nubs. And what's interesting, so if you look at, for example, like the magnetic hoops, the nubs of a 5x7 magnetic hoop will be the same as the 5x7 of your regular hoop. So that's where, if you were curious, that's where the machine is getting its information about the hoop size, is based on those little nubs right there on the edge. So if you have a machine that's not reading your hoop size properly,
Could be your nubs.
could be your nubs. Well, what it is, if you look inside the arm, heck, while we're doing this, I'll show you. We'll go all out. And in fact, I'm waiting
Just
for.
push me out of the way.
In fact, I'm waiting for a part to come in so I can fix this for somebody's machine. But if you look inside, you see those things right there in the middle? Those are little levers that the nubs hit against, and depending the combination and how many are pushed down, that's how it decides what hoop size you have. And I'm like I said, I'm waiting for this to come in because somebody accidentally snapped one of those off. So now it
Wow.
doesn't read. I don't know
That's
if
good to know, Brent, because Tina had a hoop that wasn't reading right, and
and what may happen if your hoop's not reading right, it could be that the little fingers in there are broken or misaligned.
or pushed in, and they need to be cut
Yeah,
out.
because if you get some fuzz or dust in there, it might not actuate back out. So it might, so where it thinks, so where this is pushing it in, it didn't come back out when you changed it, so it thinks it has a different size hoop in there.
That's why hitting it worked then.
Yes. Yeah, just hit it with a
came
hammer.
back out, and then we didn't
Yeah.
know why it worked, but it worked.
Have you
But-
tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
But yeah, that's how the machine knows hoop size. That's how the any of the
Did not know that.
the NQ series and above know the different size hoops. Is that little nub and those fingers in there? I think there's 4 or 5. The combination thereof will tell it what size hoop. So if you are running into issues where it doesn't recognize your hoop, just kind of look in there. Sometimes you can just brush it out. But the other thing too is like if you bought a hoop, an aftermarket hoop,
And they're not
and the machining quality isn't good enough, it might not be actuating it properly.
interested.
So that's
Oh, I did not know that.
more you know. Like I said, it's one of those. I don't
That's
know
a
if
good
it's
thing to know.
it's kind of useless information. But if you ever get on
It's
Jeopardy,
not useless because I've had people who they like, I doesn't recognize my hoop, doesn't recognize my hoop, doesn't recognize my hoop.
and if you get on Jeopardy, it's like what are the nubs used for on the hoops?
Now you'll know.
That's right.
On Jeopardy though, you have to ask it as a question.
What are nubs?
Interesting, I did not know
Okay,
that.
well, that's all I
I
had.
love that, I love that. Okay, I want you to do me a favor and stick this in the bobbin for me.
The bobbin.
We had,
Is that washable?
oh,
I gotta fix this.
Just checking.
it's fusible.
Oh my goodness. Didn't you buy some?
It's fusible. I am not to the background on Nebula, but I know some people are, and they've been having little cows over getting their points to line up.
What do you call a little cow? Because it's not like a horse or it's a pony.
Calves.
Yeah, no, but like a pony's not like a baby
And-
horse. It's just a pony. Is there like a little miniature cow? Would be like a cute little name for it?
Okay, I don't know. One of the
These are
reasons the
questions I have.
background is so difficult is there are a lot of points. Eddie, can I do a top-down now? But not only are there a lot of points, some of them are like, how do I line this up kind of point. For example, if I look at this point right here, it's pretty obvious where this intersection is where I'm going to put my pin or set my needle. We'll talk more about that later. But it's obvious where my intersection is. This one is not so obvious where the intersection is. I know it's going to be a 1/4 inch down from the edge because I'm sewing it with a 1/4 inch seam. If you look over here, I have 2 of these not obvious ones. And one of these not obvious ones has to match one that's obvious. That is what is full of the background on this beautiful, I'll show off the Nebula quilt one more time, on this beautiful Nebula quilt. All of this background are diamonds, all of them. And there are a zillion little points that you have to match up.
I've been on that Facebook group, and it's kind of funny how many people are like, I'm making a throw.
Well, I'm not going to, and I know several people in our group are not going to.
Yeah.
But you've gotten this far dealing with points, so you don't want to give up. It's not that difficult. It is more time consuming, but it is not difficult.
I always remember when.
And I was in, go ahead.
We years ago we did a block of the month. It was Judy,
Judy Niemeyer.
not Judy Nehemiah, it was the other one. Anyway, it was this really complicated block of the month that you should have done paper piecing because it was that.
Oh, I would have loved it.
Yeah, but instead, my mom's like, we're going to piece it. And so you can imagine a pattern that was pieced that should have been paper pieced,
Yeah,
what
that
kind
would
of
be difficult.
nightmare that is.
That would have been difficult.
And this was Winnie's very first quilt.
Oh.
And
That was Judy Niemeyer.
that was not,
Was it?
No, it wasn't Judy, it was the other one. She designed for RJR. It was, I can't remember, might have been Niemeyer. But anyway, so it was her very first quilt, and she hated the thing. She hated quilt, and but she wouldn't give up. She was very stubborn. And then after she got it done, she loved the quilt because she just, anything she made was easy. It was like,
Well, that's
I love
true
the
too,
quilt
but-
because nothing is as hard as the first thing I did.
Well,
I think a lot of people didn't finish it. It was just one of those awful quilts.
well, if it
But
gets
I
that
thought we
awful, I'm
paper
not going to
pieced it.
finish
I
it.
There was a
pieced
paper
it.
piece version of it, but she did the
Oh, she
piecing
did
version.
the other one?
Yep.
Okay, can we go top down again?
I'm sorry,
please?
that was-
He's on this forever, and I
I'm
got
sorry, that
stuff I
was
got to
good.
cover,
I
okay?
totally-
I got to save my people. This is the other half of this block. So as you can see, I have already lined up similar seams, and I'm quite happy with them. And I actually just wrote on it by mistake. That's all right, it's just pencil.
Oh,
Yeah, no problem, it's pencil. But as you can see, it is doable, and the background is full of this kind of stuff, and that is what is driving people wonky, because there might be 3 or 4 that you have to line up, not just, or 6 or 7, not just 1 or 2. So, normally Becky shows you how to do it with, whoops, I'm gonna show
Now,
you something
keep in mind,
first.
those that are watching this and not
This
fully.
is true of pinwheels, this is true of these.
Yes, but keep in mind,
This is technique is good for any points.
but if you're not following this because you haven't done these angled points before, the fact that they're not straight lines, if those seams aren't lined up properly, you're going to get some wonkiness in the seam because they're not directly across from each other like
They're
you're
not.
normally doing.
They're not like nested squares.
Yeah, if you all you ever do is squares, that's just sew a 1/4 inch and you're good to go because the
This
seams overlap each
This
other.
works anytime you need to match up points, period. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my nifty little
Think about a
ruler,
ring one.
and I'm going to place it, I'm going just barely a 1/4 inch in. And when I say barely, I know I'm going to lose some space when I iron it open. So I'm not going to line it up exactly. Okay, I'm going to give me a little, what do they call it, the
Scant 1/4 inch.
the scant. Or you can
And
line
Gail,
it
if you're
up
watching, you don't need to worry about the scant.
or you can just line it up and do the scant on the machine. But anyway, what my purpose of doing this with a very thin pencil,
Mm-hmm.
my purpose on doing this is to tell my eye, let my eye exactly know where I'm going to do some lining up. Does those lines show up, Eddie? Are those lines? I don't want to do it too dark because this is real. Oh,
He's gonna-
I
Doesn't
can,
matter.
if I do it dark, does that help people
Well,
see?
he had it down on the table there for a minute.
No, he didn't. Oh, he did?
Yeah, but then
Oh.
you,
Then I what?
I was seeing it.
Oh, were you? See
Right
my
there.
pencil
That little
lines?
pencil line right there,
See
yeah.
how I have little pencil lines?
Itty
That-
bitty
to help my
pencil lines.
eye. I cannot, some people can guesstimate the 1/4 inch and be right on, like I'm sure Brenda can, but I can't. I need a visual. I need a visual. So I need a visual on the right side of one, and I need a visual on the wrong side of the other one. Because what's going to happen is we're going to have to match them up like this. Okay? So what I'm going to do on this one is the same idea, but I'm doing this on the wrong side of the fabric.
But on the same seam
Same
line.
seam line. I'm doing the 1/4 inch. I'm going to do it over here so they're not on top of each other. I'm taking this one and I'm taking my pencil and my ruler again, and I'm giving me that visual intersection. I now know exactly where I'm supposed to meet up. Okay? Eddie, I'm going to hold this up again so they can see these.
Meet up or sew?
I'm going to show you in a second. There, see?
Isn't that like an app?
It's gonna be both when we're done.
That's how Dan
See,
and I
see
met.
that, guys? See, now I know that I've taken the guesswork out of where that pin needs to go, right?
Yep, so you're
Okay, now
saying
watch
that
this.
that intersection of that 1/4 inch and that seam,
Mm-hmm,
that point, if you line it up on both sides, when you fold it out, will give you a
Well,
perfect point.
one of the things I wanna make sure you understand is on this one, I went by the point. I didn't even care if that was truly a 1/4 inch. I fudged and made sure my line is gonna be, that point is what I'm shooting for.
And that's gonna
So if you have a wonky cut, I'm not looking at the edge. This is a point I can define perfectly
Because-
by my piecing.
because that's the point you want to save.
Yes,
Oh, in.
I got something better for you. So now I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna pin in the intersection of my pencil mark
Yeah.
in my seam line. Without that pencil mark, I wouldn't know where to put this pin. I could guess, but I wouldn't know for sure. And I always check this side. Yep, it's perfect. It's coming right out of the seam. Boop, boop, boop. And then I want it to go right in the exact top of that perfect one. Oops, come on, Becky. You can do it.
And
You can
I'm
do
going
it.
to point out that she's doing this on a wool mat, so
A
she
wool
can
mat.
stab right through everything.
And the next thing is important is that this pin is straight. Now, I used to do them from the underside up, so I knew my pins were straight, but you all had heart attacks, so I'm trying to not do it that way.
Oh, that just sounds like it's going to end badly.
And that was what you said. So,
Oh.
so look at that, pin's in there, it's nice and tidy. I know that's okay. And if I don't believe it, I can peek. Oh, boy, that looks good. Now, that is a point, that line is important right there, okay? That tells me there's a point there you don't want to give up. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to say that for every time I see a pencil line. Now I'm coming in this one, and I'm coming in the seam and in the pencil, and guess what? Here's one where I don't have to guess, because I drew me a line. Right? I'm just going to stick it right in there. Right in that seam, right in that line. Is that showing? Can y'all see what I'm doing? Oh, damn. Damn, I'm going right in that little, ooh, there you go, Danny. Oop,
Ooh.
almost, almost.
Yeah.
I'm going right in, and I'm going to go straight down. It's important to go straight down. Whoops, I just moved my pen. I'll have to double check it. That's okay, I can. And then I can double check. Oh, yes, it's right on the money. Okay, so you can even double check. Now, here comes the fun part. In the olden days, if I had more of these to do, I would keep doing it. I'd use a longer wool mat. The other thing I know that's important, and so Becky likes to take care of it while I'm here, is that these ends match. So I actually end up doing something like this. Ew.
Do you make noises like this at home when you're by yourself?
I make lots of noises at home when I'm by myself.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one that did that.
So you're just pinning that right across on your wool mat.
On my wool mat. That's what I'm doing. Now, in the olden days, like a week ago, I would have taken, oh, my tip broke. I think it's,
That's what she says.
I think it's pushed into my bottle.
Well,
It had a rough
I
ride.
mean, all that butt touching you were doing.
I think it's probably on the inside of my nozzle. Yep, there it is. Yep. Let's just push that puppy
Whoop,
out.
there it is.
Am I? Oh, no, I
It might
can't
be.
push it out. It's glued in. That's okay, because in the olden days, I would have taken my little Elmer's glue, watered down glue bottle, and I would have glued, and then that's it. But not in today's world.
No, what are we going to do today?
Not a week later.
What's that?
Not a week later.
Oh, actually, I would have done the step
Okay.
first, but I'm going to show you. When I first said this, I said, Brent, can you get that out for a minute?
You just had me put it
Why you
in.
care how my brain evolves, I don't know, but this is how my brain evolved. I said, hey, I got fusible thread. I can cut off a piece of fusible thread. I know I brought my snips.
Snippy snip snips. You could just bite it, you know.
No, I know I brought them. I think I used them already.
I mean, there's the bag that they go in right there.
I know, and I put my crayons in it. Can I have a pair of snips?
Oh, sure.
I knew it! Oh, I found them! I found them. I knew as soon as I asked for 'em, I found them. Okay, so, I said, oh, I can just, and you can put that back in for
Okay,
me.
now I can put that back
I
in.
can just lay this inside my seam right here, like this, and then press it with my iron, and now that's there. But I went, huh, what would be easier than that? Brent, you ready?
Sure.
What would be easier than that is if before I pin this, I had Brent stitch with fusible thread in the bobbin
Oh my gosh.
from here to here.
From there to there, yes.
From here to
Okay.
here. But the important thing is, Brent, is you're just going to be just on the inside of these little lines.
Yes,
Just on the inside of them.
yes. So that after,
So I don't know if this is going to show when you line this up, but it's important how you line it up. Is that camera on?
we can put it on.
Because it's important. I want to show you how I lined it up.
Are we focused on that, Eddie? Because I know this camera, sometimes the focusing isn't the best. There we go.
When I'm coming down here, there's a width on this 1/4-inch foot, right? There's a width.
There's a width, yeah.
There's a width. This line is going to be against the left side. When I hit this line, against the left side of this 1/4-inch foot.
Okay, so,
So that's what I meant by scanned.
yeah, so if you're looking.
You also could just move
if
your
you-
needle over once.
If you go back to that view, Eddie, so if you're looking from, let me just see this for a second.
It's okay if it's not.
So if you'll notice, this is the right side of my foot, so, and there's my 1/4-inch guide over there, so I'm just gonna line my line up right to the inside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, okay.
So you're just going to stitch. You don't have to stitch the whole way point to point, but I think it's just easier than cutting your thread. It is. If he screws this up, I'm going to cry. I don't know. He did so good on the gravestone.
That was coloring though.
Yeah. We love you, Brent.
I'm going to show you how easy this technique is, and I've done several with it, and I'm like, oh, why not think of that? Well, you might want to speed it up a tad.
Or-
Took it off the back. And now she's stitching
Now, we're only stitching one layer, we
And-
don't actually have it pieced
one.
yet.
Yeah.
No,
So
I'm.
it's just one.
No.
You're just doing one. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I had a lot to do, I would chain this. I would chain this. Just stitch away.
Yes, we have the
Because
fusibles on the
It
bottom.
depends. Depends on which piece you're doing, but to me, this is going face down, so I want my
So
fusible.
why don't we get a camera
Get them over
angle?
here to this camera.
Oh, okay.
So now guess what this is? This is a line of glue that I stitch with my machine. So if it happens to be in the wrong spot or too far
That's
out,
good.
no harm, no foul. You melt it and pull it out.
So, yeah, so you can see, can we show them the backside with the line of
Sure,
that?
sure.
Well, I thought you were gonna hold it.
I'm not
So
good
you
at
see,
this.
right there.
There
So
we go.
So there's our
yeah,
line.
you did okay.
and
That's
we-
all right.
And we
It's-
stitched to the, but we wanted.
I
to-
would have stitched closer to my lines, Brent.
I know.
Because I'm going to open my seam when I'm done.
I understand that, but I
So
didn't want to
I
screw up your
would've-
nebula.
Well, you did.
I know.
No, it'll be all right. I can pull this open when it's melted. But the purpose of doing this isn't to have the lines exact. I drew the lines for my pinning.
Yes.
The purpose of this is to give me a line of glue where I need it, easy breezy. And I can just chain stitch. I mean, there's no law that says I can't go the whole way. I can go the whole way if I want. I don't care. Just chain it through. Yeah. So now is when I line up my little, remember my lines and my intersections? Now I'm pinning into my mat. This is where magic happens. And I'm not happy with that one, so I'm fixing it. Because this is a real quilt, people.
Look at that action shot.
Okay, I like that one. So now I'm coming over here, I'm doing the same thing. See, those lines I drew with my pencil give me exactly where to put them on those areas I wasn't sure of. Without those, you're guessing. So if you do nothing else, draw the lines, is what I'm saying. Draw the lines. If you do nothing else, draw the lines first. Then you know exactly what to shoot for. Now, I like my little ends to line up, even if I have some give and take in there, so that's why you see me doing that. Now, look at that. What do I got?
Everything's lined up and you have some glue on there.
And I got a
And
board
you're
attached.
already on your wool mat,
I'm
so.
already on my wool mat, and everything is all over the place. So now I'm just going, no, look at me, I'm between my pins. I'm not even taking my pins off yet.
Well, because
Now, what's happening when I'm doing that, Brent?
you're gluing the fabric together because it's fusible thread.
And is it moving anywhere?
It has not gone anywhere.
Can it go anywhere?
No, it's
I'm
pinned.
going right up to those pins that are straight down into my wool mat. And when I'm done, and I think I've done either side, I'm just taking that pin out, giving it one more shot.
It's a lot of work on making that look nice.
I know, right?
It's a lot of work to pull them out when they're not right. I'm not letting you do this, Final.
I was gonna say, I don't even
Can you
want
put-
to run
Can
that.
you put the regular thread back in?
Yep.
This is another reason I would chain, because now I've got to put my regular bobbin in. So if I had, like you do on the background, people, you have a zillion to do. I would glue line, seriously, with my sewing machine, glue line one side of the things. 'Cause the other side you're going to glue
Are you
two.
Do you want a pedal?
I thought I took out my pedal.
Well, there's a pedal right over here.
Well,
I'll
you're
grab
gonna
it real
make me,
quick.
I can probably do it, Brent. I'll just go slow. I can handle it, Brent.
Well, I got a pedal right here.
Will you? So now I'm a pinner, so I'm still gonna pin my beginning and end when there is no glue. But you know what, you don't have to if you're not a pinner. You don't have to. You don't really need it, but look at how I'm all, and, actually I should show this. If I really wanna see what it looks like before I go to my sewing machine, if Brent had put the glue line where I told him to, you could actually, he's kind of too high up on some of it and not quite straight.
Yeah.
You could actually open this up and see your seam line before you head to your sewing machine. So if it's not right, you just,
Back that up. What did you just say?
you just pull it apart and try again. If you had stitched where I told you to stitch with the 1/4" foot,
Yeah.
right on those lines,
Yeah.
when I glue this together, I'm making my seam with glue.
Yeah.
So I can open it up, and I can say, oh yeah, I'm exactly on. Or I'm not on, and I just tear it apart and glue it again. But you were a little high, so when I...
So, yeah, so checking
So
this
when
is
I'm
gonna be off a
checking
little
now,
bit.
I don't know if Eddie can see this. I know this point isn't right here, but I also know your glue line was
Yeah,
higher.
off a little bit, yeah.
He wasn't straight, people.
Oh, I know.
So, but if you had been,
Is that what she said?
I would know now. I would know now before I went to my sewing machine that I wasn't gonna like it. But I have faith. I didn't hear it. I do like it when you joke around. I want to put my pin back in because I'm a pinner. I'm a pinner, not a sinner.
Are you sure about that?
But do you remember when I first put this down, though, there was some give and take? It wasn't exactly sized right. Did y'all notice that? I had a little give and take. Look what's all better. And if, hey you, if I'm sewing this, and I can sew from this side too if I want. Oh, here's a good example of his stitching wasn't quite on. See how this is,
So you could sew.
oh, okay.
I'm not.
I thought you were doing stuff back
No, I'm
there.
behaving
See how
myself.
this line doesn't match the glue line? That's why I meant I couldn't test it quite right because he wasn't right where he needed to be. He was a little high. No problem. When I go to sew this, again, I know there's a 1/4" foot on that machine. That's a rule, but it's not the stone, okay? I need to hit these lines. These are the lines that are telling me where the critical points are. Sometimes when you cut your fabric, one's a little too high or too low. I don't care when I get to here what that foot says. I need to roll over those lines. That's what counts. Nobody's going to look on the back side of your quilt, except Becky, to make sure those lines are exact. They're going to look at the front side, and they're going to eye your beautiful points. Get out of my way, Brent.
How was it helping you out?
What were you doing?
I turned on your guidelines so that you can bridge the gap between your two
Oh,
lines.
well, but a lot of people don't have these guidelines.
I understand that, but because you do, we're gonna turn it on.
Okay, all right. So as I'm sewing, you put the fancy laser on, for those who have a Luminaire.
And you can kind of see it on the screen that
This,
that green
this
line.
represents what I'm shooting for as I'm coming down. It should be right where my needle's gonna hit. I always double check because I don't trust these, that's okay. So,
I'm a glue sniffer.
I'm coming to this line. I'm
That's
lined
what
up with
she
my
said.
1/4 inch foot right now, but what I'm looking, oh, I moved it. What I'm looking at is this pencil line that we all know I said was right, correct?
And we know that Becky is always right, so
Well,
therefore,
no, Becky isn't always right.
we can pretend for the
She's
night.
perfectly imperfect.
I am, I love that. Oh my goodness, it's just
Brent
like.
has no idea what that means. 'cause he doesn't
Okay, now
know
see how I'm coming to that line?
I
Now,
read some of
I
them.
have a laser, so I'm pushing my laser so it's going right over that thing. But if you didn't, you're gonna use your eyeballs, which is frankly what I do, is I use my eyeballs. But Brent's like, see how, Brent, is this showing that, see how that's a little bit over?
Do you ever
I
watch
don't trust you
You ever
behind
wa-
me.
You ever watch Adventure
I do not
Time?
trust you behind me, I'm just
You ever watch
saying.
Adventure Time with the Lumpy Space Princess?
No.
Oh, my balls are burning. My eyeballs are burning.
Okay, I'm coming up to another pencil line. I'm lining up with the pencil line, people, not the 1/4 inch foot, the pencil line. Is anybody even listening to
I'm
me?
watching
At
you.
some point, I will watch you and listen. Right now, I'm laughing.
John wants to know if Brent is high because he inhaled the glue line.
Well, he
Good
did
possibility.
Phew, I made it to the end!
Yay!
All right, now the magic happens. Hey,
The
and if you
pins come
haven't
out.
come pick these up
We have a bunch of them.
and you're doing open seams,
I keep forgetting.
you need one of these. This is a game changer. Makes life so much easier. It's like putting,
It's like butter.
Like butter.
now I'm gonna have more hard time opening this because Brent's
my eye.
glue line was a little shabby. Oh my God.
Oh,
Your glue line was a little shabby here, so I have struggles. I might have to melt it again.
the struggle box pulling into a stop.
Welcome to Brent.
I don't
It's
know.
Thursday. One of those weeks.
Why isn't that coming
See, when you're
apart?
struggling with that, I'll recount my week. My Monday started out, I was gonna change brake lines
Oh,
on Jeep.
by the way, regarding sorry to interrupt you, but not, I'm gonna have to melt that, my lord. Regarding fusible thread, it is temporary. It is not permanent, okay, so keep that in mind. It will not hold up through the wash.
So my Labor Day story was, I started,
I have one more thing to say about fusible thread, then you can do your Labor Day
okay, I
story.
just thought I would do it while you were
Brenda
struggling.
said, Becky, I don't understand how that's gonna work on the way I do binding. And I said, huh, Brent, you really glued this high. There we go, phew. Normally, I don't have to do this because I sewed it right to start with,
That's what you get when,
but I was nice.
you knew what you were getting when you gave it to me to sew it.
See,
It was
my
just
little
like-
glue pops right open, this glue does not. This glue is much stronger,
Hardier. It's a
hardier.
hardier glue.
And now I'm like ripping and tearing
That's
together.
the glue made from Clydesdales versus the weak ponies.
Okay, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna iron it. I'm just gonna get going on it, because we're running out of time. All right, so another thing, so Brenda says, Becky, I don't understand how that's gonna work, because this is how I do my binding. And I said, oh, well, Brenda, it's not gonna work for you. I did some trial and error stuff. It is not gonna work for you, Brenda.
Okay.
Because Brenda doesn't catch her back binding when she does her front stitching.
That's right.
She brings her front stitching a good 1/4 inch past the back binding and actually stitches into the back of the quilt instead of the binding. Well, if I use fusible thread, I am now going to have the back binding that could fall off
Yes.
because there's no stitching in it. So if you follow Brenda's way of binding and, oh my God, I can't get that seam open, Brenda, and do it her way and don't catch the back binding when you do the front binding, don't use fusible thread because it's not going to work. I cannot get this open. What did you do?
Well, Jean asked a really good question. If you iron it open, will the glue that I put in the wrong spot, get on the iron.
Oh, I must have had a bobbin machine. No, because I have a Teflon iron.
Is that the side you started on or finished on?
I don't know now, but maybe that's what's wrong here. We didn't get the whole seam all fixed that way. It's like I didn't get thread at the end. I don't know if it's where it began or it finished, but it's not pretty.
I don't know where we started or ended tonight.
Okay, I finally got it. But no, there'll be no glue on here. Most of your irons do have a Teflon, just not as nice and even as this one. But there's a minuscule amount of glue anyway, and it melts. So it's not like it's gonna leave a bunch of residue anywhere. It just disappears. It melts away. So I would not be worried about my iron. Are we ready for the reveal?
What review? Oh, yeah.
Don't look at this because I didn't finish sewing that for some reason, but look at our points.
Beautiful.
Those
Almost
are
like,
hard points.
almost like you knew what you were doing.
Those are hard points, because there
I-
was nothing to line up over here. There was a line here, but there wasn't here. And truthfully, I'm staring at that, and I would definitely take that in a smidgen more. And if you look, I didn't quite hit the line. That's how accurate
That's because
those.
you were
Oh.
sewing standing up.
And you're
Probably.
and
I
you're
am off,
so
I'm
average.
off by a thread
Yeah.
on this line. I am right on this one. And guess what? That's what it looks like to me. I'm off a little bit on that one. I
Oh my
would end up
God.
ripping
It
that
must have
out.
been you he was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I'm not gonna not have that point be something I'm proud of. Look at, I'm so careful with my points. It's not
I'm-
bad though.
Okay.
It's not like,
I'm
oh
not
my
even looking at the
God.
points. What I'm looking at, which I am thoroughly impressed by, my mind is blown by right now, is how all those stripes go in the right direction. I don't even care about the points. The fact that those stripes are going the right way.
Well, they have to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Oh, they wouldn't if they was mine.
I imagine
It's
there's,
supposed to show movement.
I imagine there's a few of them out there. Those stripes are going. Anyway,
Anyway, I have fusible thread. Basically, you're making a basting line, and then you're using it as glue.
I will try.
It's,
Fusible thread. We will have
I'm
it.
sold. I am sold on it for my bottom. And when if we finally get it in
We
the
will get
smaller
it.
size, I can't wait to try it.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna call A tomorrow. And be, hey, hook me
Am
up.
I water soluble? Please. All right. Well, that's all.
Okay.
Happy points. And
Well,
you wool mats.
Yes, well,
And
Matt.
pinning.
Wow, what did I?
Nice and firm.
Looks like you have lipstick on there.
I know, and I got a little bit of scruff going, that
It's
artistic.
lighting. What's your lighting?
It's the
Oh,
lighting.
we're late, Brent.
I know we're
Yeah.
late.
I didn't know we were late.
Why do we think we're having so
That's
much
why I
fun?
was doing this.
Oh, I didn't even
Anyway,
see that.
so
I was
we're
busy
running
looking
late.
at points.
And like
What
that
is
awesome
this?
gift.
How much does this cost in the store?
I want to say it's $15.95.
I'll look
Oh, definitely.
It's under $20, I can tell you that.
This is really for opening seam, and you see, I've got all my seams open.
Yes.
Anyway.
Anyway, I should probably take us out.
Okay, take it.
Okay, here we go. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. Join us again next week. I have no idea what we're going to do, but thank you for joining us. Hope you all enjoyed it. Be excellent. So on and be excellent to each other. Thanks.